Assalamu alaikum and good day everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the environmental issues in early childhood education and how do we cure this. In early childhood environments, safe, responsive, and nurturing environments are an important part of supporting the learning and development of infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. Such environments also help to prevent challenging behaviors and serve as a core component of interventions for infants and young children with identified disabilities. This is according to the Division for Early Childhood recommended practices. An environmental practice refers to aspects of the space, materials, equipment, routines, and activities that practitioners and families can intentionally alter to support each child's learning across developmental domains. And these are well-designed classroom environments, which are support responsive caregiving, foster independence and feelings of competence in young children, encourage staff and efficiency, promote children's engagement, decrease challenging behavior, facilitate appropriate social interactions among children, and provide structure and predictability. And these are the components of early childhood environments in its definitions. For physical environment, it is the overall design and layout of a room, including its learning centers, materials, and furnishings. And for social environment, these are interactions that occur within the classroom between peers, teachers, and family members. And temporal environment is the timing sequence and length of routines and activities that take place throughout the day. In this environment, it includes also the children with disabilities. A well-designed, safe, and responsive environment is an essential first step in including young children with disabilities in early childhood settings, such as inclusive preschool, Head Start, and childcare programs. If, however, the learning environment does not provide the support necessary to help children with disabilities to succeed, teachers must make changes to maximize their participation in planned activities, interactions, and routines. These intentional changes can be small and are often easy to implement, yet they can yield immediate improvement in the level of child participation in learning. And our next topic is about designing and organizing environments in early childhood education. These are things to do to cure issues or negative issues that are happening inside an early childhood education classroom. First one is designing for logistics. In your preschool classroom, you will need spaces for group activities, privacy, storage, and display. Consider how to set up your classroom with emergent inquiry in mind. Emergent inquiry can be described as learning that evolves as the interests of the children change and they make new discoveries about the world around them. And this type of learning can be supported through learning centers with flexible spaces, open-minded materials, and daily schedule. And another one is the places for group activities. Although children learn primarily through play, it is also important to plan areas for large group meetings or activities. Morning meetings and story times build classroom community and literacy skills. Teachers can get creative with these spaces. The black area can be a perfect space for large group activities. Simply covering the shelves with sheets, flipping around shelves on wheels, or adding a stop sign can help minimize distractions and support children's successful engagement with the group. In other classrooms, the library or music and movement area is a natural home for large group activities, just to make sure there is enough space for everybody to sit comfortably. And places for privacy. Preschool classrooms are high-energy places. Similar to adults, Children need time and space during the day to relax on their own. It is important to provide a calming space for them to take a break from the group. This space can be limited to 1 or 2 children and created so that there is still visibility to ensure safety. And for places for storage and display, preschool classrooms require many materials like toys, books, games, and other resources are regularly rotated in and out of active use. It is important to plan for at least 3 kinds of storage in a preschool classroom, such as open storage for children to access, closed storage for teacher materials, and storage for personal belongings. That is according to Dodge and others. And it is also important to plan for storage and display of children's assessment materials and artwork. Storing and displaying artwork and portfolios sends powerful messages to children about the value of their work and helps you do your job more effectively as a teacher or as a guardian or as a caretaker. The following video and another thing is aesthetics. One of the best ways you can communicate to children that your classroom is a good place to be is through the small touches you place throughout the room that express the personality of the group. And another thing or another type of strategy to design and organize a positive or safe environment for early childhood education is a home-like or home-based strategy. Children are more likely to feel they can be themselves and have a sense of belonging when their classroom environment feels like home. The ideal connected approach is not to simply fill classroom spaces. Rather, it is to create an environment that is meaningful to the children. That is according to Duncan, Martin, and Red 2016. There are many ways you can add personal touches to your classroom to create this idea. For example, you can include soft furniture such as a couch or a large armchair, non-toxic plants, natural or soft lighting through the use of windows or lamps, throw pillows, cushions, and blankets, other decorative touches such as area rugs or repurposed furniture, family photos of the children and staff, and expensive frames to hang children's artwork on the walls, and neutral paint colors. And inviting engagement or provocations. These are the a subtopic for inviting engagement provocations, such as pictures. Including pictures of children's interests can help extend exploration of children or of certain concepts and sends the message that children's ideas are valued in your classroom. You can use pictures of real items as much as possible. Also, when applicable, offer several different pictures. This allows children to recognize that not all trees look the same or that some dogs have spots and others do not. And an event or experience, for example, you go on a field trip or a nature walk outdoors or host a tea party in your classroom. You can also take pictures during the event to display later. Using pictures of the experiences with which the children engage with one another in the learning environment communicates that this space belongs to the children. It also provides them with concrete documentation to reflect back on the experience. And another thing is books. Strategically, placing books relevant to children's current interests around the room can change how they engage in the space. For example, offer a book on robots next to a bin of recycled materials. And another thing also is physical items of interest. Adding an authentic item as provocation can support what children already know about their world or invite them to touch, smell, see, or hear something new. This can include items from nature such as leaves or nuts or a vase of fresh flowers. Consider asking families to provide items from home, especially ones with cultural relevance like a piece of fabric or a paper lantern. Also adding things like an old record player or piece of stained glass can elicit new discoveries. And the last one for provocations is simple changes in display. Considering a different perspective or design can spark new ideas for preschoolers. For example, placing an architecture drawing on the writing surface rather than taped to the wall may encourage children to trace, measure, or highlight on the drawing. And for the organization, consider how you might feel if a familiar store has been completely rearranged when you walk in to make a quick purchase. Children can also feel frustrated when they cannot find what they need and when materials for play are unavailable. As a teacher, it is your responsibility to make sure materials are easily accessible and well organized. When organizing your materials, you should think about three goals, which are independence, easy to use, and learning. And organize for independence is when we want children to know that they can find and use materials on their own. The best way to accomplish this is to store materials on low and open shelves. This allows children to see the materials available, make a choice, and return the item without adult support. Display the toys and materials in a simple and attractive way. Keep in mind that too many choices can be overwhelming. And for organize for easy use, materials should be organized so children want to interact with them. It is important to organize your materials so children can find what they need when they need it. This also helps children know I can do things on my own. And organized materials empower children to try out ideas and use new materials. When organizing for easy use, think about storing like materials together. Like materials are things that go together or materials that are necessary for certain activities. Think like a child. If I want to work at the writing center, what will I need or want? Placing pencils, crayons, markers, papers, scissors, stickers, stencils, stamps, and others, and picture dictionaries all together in the writing area can allow children to get instantly involved in their ideas. This means you may have duplicate materials in many areas of the room. Pencils, papers, and clipboards are also useful in the construction and dramatic play areas, so a set should be stored there for easy use. And the last one is for organizing learning. You can organize your space so children encounter meaningful learning opportunities throughout the day. This means providing thoughtful and well-planned literacy, math, science, and social studies materials in interest areas. For example, offer a basket of menus, pads for taking orders, shopping lists, and cookbooks in the dramatic play area. Keep tape measures, clipboards, blueprints, and books about famous structures in the block area, and everything that is accessible for them or for you. Or you can introduce to them many kinds of art materials other than the usual materials that we use inside the classroom. And the art area can include books, paintings, pottery, or other materials from a variety of cultures so that the learning is meaningful and at the same time diverse. And these are the things to plan a menu for early year settings. Number 1, plan menus which outline all of the meals and snacks provided in your setting. Include a variety of foods, tastes, textures, and colors in your setting menus, and cater for the cultural and dietary needs of all children. And lastly, introduce new menu cycles at least twice a year. And that is all for this topic, and thank you for listening.